Okay, so now I have to take this screen apart, and what they did is they put a metal spline in here. So I have to very gently take this out so I can reuse it. I'm going to try to use the other spline. But I think the space is too big. I never did a screen like this, so this is a first for me and you. Screen. This is metal screening. I'm using my vinyl or whatever the heck it is. A synthetic screen. Gotta figure out where this goes. Didn't want that to come off, but it did. Should be the center mark on here somewhere. There it is. Alright, so splining goes on this side, so I can tape this together, and that's what I'm going to do so that that doesn't keep coming out, because it's going to keep coming out until I get the screen in there. All right, so what I have to do is I have to tape this in. So that it doesn't keep coming out. And I gotta put it in the right direction. Thinking this is the right direction. I can't remember. There we go. Let's see. Slines on this side. Yep, got it. So now what I have to do is I have to tape it so it doesn't come out. So I'm just going to give it a right here. I'm going to give it a right here. Make sure it stays together. And we can't exceed it where the spline goes. And we have to be able to take this off once the screen's in there. Okay, so now the screen goes on this side. So I'm going to get all my splines. I'm going to do the top one first, I think. And these go on the side. Never did one like this, so I don't know if I have to rebend this or if it'll bend once I start putting it in there. I'm going to figure out how that goes in. So I'm going to try to bend it to get it back to the way it has to be, but I think once I start popping it in there, it'll straighten itself out. Because it got all bent when I pulled it out. All right. New screen. Get all the tools out of the way. Said I never did one like this before. You gotta pull on it a little tiny bit. You don't want to pull on it where you knock it out of kilter. Well, I'm gonna have to use a hammer, I think. I'll be right back. Of course, you know I didn't start it in the right spot. Oh, this is good. It's not. So we start over. Gonna pull on a little tiny bit. And I'm just gently tapping it in there because I don't want to hurt it. And I'm going to run my splining tool to get it in just a little bit better. So now with this one, I can go down to the bottom and get the bottom one in. I don't know if I should do that though, because it really needs to go like that. So, like I said, I never did one like this before. And I don't want any buckles in it, and I don't want to pull it so tight that it won't fit in the frame. So you have to be gentle when you're doing this, so you don't over and you don't want to under, because if you under, then it's not going to be tight enough. So we're going to try it. I'm going to try this side. Make sure I have enough screen here. Bypass that hole. Yeah, I'm bypassing it. Okay. Now I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Seam goes down. So I'm just pulling on it a little tiny bit. Well, I'm thinking this is actually easier than the other one. A little harder to push it in there, but I'm thinking maybe this, because you have to be careful you don't cut the screen. Huh. Easier than I thought. So doing screens aren't as difficult as you think. It's a lot better to just replace the whole screen than it is to try to repair the one that's in there. So all I'm doing is pushing it in there, and then I'm going to take the hammer and tap it. Looks pretty good. Let's see how I do on the big side. All right. I need to pull on it just a hair. If you make it too tight, it won't fit. And you don't want to knock the window out. You don't want to knock the screen out of kilter. It's a good learning experience for both of us, especially if you have older windows in your house. This is 1980 something, 85 I think. I don't think a regular spline would fit in there. That's really big. And I'm not even, because it's tightening up once it's going in the rail. So all I'm doing is gently tapping on it and getting it in there. Well, that has to be the fastest screen I ever did in my life. I don't know why they changed that out. Look at that, looks perfect. Now I can take the tape off because it'll stay together. And I want to hammer the rest of that spline in, and then I'm going to trim it with the razor knife. And when you trim with the razor knife, you want to bring it into this track so you don't see it. So I'm going to stick the razor down in here. See how nice that looks? And we do the same thing all around. And be mindful with the razor blade because you could slice that screen real easy. Really doesn't take much to cut it. And I wouldn't have reused the screen, but it was bigger than this, and that screen was brand new, but my friend liked to break everything I had, and he busted the screen on every one of my new windows. Don't pay attention. That's a problem. Costs too much money. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around and I'm going to tap it in a little bit harder so that screen can't come out. Hope you learned something. I did. Let me show you the way it looks. It's dirty because stuff got on it. But it turned out great, didn't it?